Red wine with fish. Well, that should have told me something.
From Russia with love, I fly to you.
Hello, welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm back with my partner, Christopher Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
And we're continuing our James Bondathon with From Russia with Love.
One of my favorites of the Connery era. Should I go into
Yeah.
a bit of an overview? Okay. From Russia with Love is a 1963 spy film based on the 1957 novel of the same name written by Ian Fleming. The film was produced by Harry Saltzman and Albert R. Broccoli and directed by Terrence Young. The film was adapted by Richard Maibaum and Johanna Harwood. The film stars Sean Connery in his second film as James Bond.
You want to get into the synopsis?
Sure. James Bond is sent to assist the defection of a Soviet consulate clerk, Tatiana Romanova, in Turkey, where Spectre plans to avenge Bond's killing of Dr. No, spoiler alert, and steal a Soviet decoding device known as the Lecter that is in Tatiana's possession.
So, we should talk about the new cast member.
Well, yes, but of course, we need to start talking about Sean Connery himself. He is now even more perfect as James Bond. An absolute boss in this. I mean, just still suave, debonair, sophisticated, but also very charismatic, has a bit of that wit, and also he ain't afraid to throw down. But I mean, what did you think of Connery in this one?
Pretty much the same. He was really good in pretty much all of his movies.
But yeah, we'll get more into when things start to later on. But perfect in this one. But, of course, we already know about him. Why don't we talk more about some of the new cast that we tend to see in this one? Starting with Ali Cameron Bey, the head of MI6's station in Istanbul, not Constantinople. What did you think of Pedro Armendariz as Cameron Bey?
He was really fun and really humorous there.
Very warm, but he's also really cool.
Yep.
You know, that dude's not afraid to throw hands. Oh, there's a gunfight happening? Okay. Bang. Oh no, I got shot. I'm still going to shoot.
Yep. He took his assassination attempts in stride.
Yeah. I mean, and let alone when it was time to find the person that tried to assassinate him, he was like, hey, Bond, let me take the shot. Cameron Bey is just cool.
Yep.
You know, he's really cool.
Yeah, I wish he stayed around longer.
Yeah, but that tends to be a common thing with a lot of the Bond films. You start to really like the person that assists Bond, and there's a good chance they either get seriously injured or they end up dead. That's an unfortunate thing. Though, with talking about the Bond ally, talk about the Bond girl. And this time, Tatiana Romanova, played by Daniela Bianchi. She was really good.
Yeah.
She was really good. What did you think of Tatiana?
I liked her better story-wise compared to Honey. She's there for the rest of the movie. We get introduced to her at the beginning of the movie. She doesn't show up third way into the movie, unlike the last one. And even though she does fall for Bond too easily.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a bit of her playing the part while also genuinely starting to catch feelings. That's kind of the thing that both Bond and her go through, that they're both playing the part because they don't know, are you friend or foe? Are you friend or foe? So I'm going to charm you so everything is cool and you have the sense of security. But then as time goes along, it's like, I think I'm starting to catch some feelings. I think that's why, once things start to uncover the main scheme that Spectre's trying to do, that's why Bond gets pissed and he's like, okay, are you playing me? Which, the first instance of Connery slapping.
Yep. That happened after the death of his ally.
But, okay, yeah, you shouldn't have hit her, but I understand why you did it, because now allies are dying, and you're wondering, is this woman potentially an enemy that is going to be my undoing? But, turns out that that's not the case. That she's essentially being played just like everyone else. Particularly played by Spectre, where we finally get the first introduction of the horrible terrorist organization run by, of course, Ernst Stavro Blofeld, #1 of Spectre.
Yeah, right. And this one, he's just in the shadows.
Yeah. We never see his face. We only see maybe the back of his head, and we see his hands as he's stroking his white cat.
Yep. Pretty much like Professor Claw.
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Well, that's where they got the idea for Dr. Claw. But, of course, the main ones pulling the strings of this, main scheme and trying to essentially blackmail and strong-arm Russia into giving them money is, of course, Rosa Klebb, Spectre #3, and Kronstein, Spectre #5, played by Lot Lenya and Valdek Schabel, respectively. What did you think of Klebb and Kronstein?
Well, I liked her performance because she was really cold and calculating. Gave us a hint of her lesbianism for the first LGBT one, just as much as they could at the time.
Yeah, she was legitimately checking out Tatiana when she picked her for this mission. And I really like Rosa Klebb, because she definitely is taking this seriously. And at the same time, she is deathly afraid of Blofeld. And I think she's just great as far as someone that is leading this mission by Spectre. I mean, she's the one that ends up picking the main assassin that is supposed to take out Bond. What did you think of Kronstein?
We didn't really get enough of him.
Yeah. He's essentially the brains of the operation. He's the one that...
brains, because we don't really see him do much, except get killed.
Well, he explains what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, he failed.
Dead.
Yeah. Which is a common occurrence with a lot of Spectre agents. Seriously, Blofeld. Oh, okay, I get it. You don't take failure as an option. But how many people in your organization do you end up killing? Mm-hmm. On, like, that often of an occurrence? Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought Kronstein was definitely, despite what little we saw of him, he was definitely interesting. Mm-hmm. And he had a really good villainous face and voice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just unfortunate he ends up getting killed via poison-tipped hidden blade in shoe.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's talk about Rose's right-hand man, Grant.
Ah, yes. Donald Red Grant. Quite possibly one of the greatest Bond villains / henchmen in this whole franchise. Mm-hmm. Dude is awesome. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact we don't know too much about him, all we know is that the man's a master assassin. He was supposed to be in prison for the rest of his life due to murder, but Spectre was able to get him out, and now he's one of their go-to guys to take care of potential threats for their plans. Mm-hmm. And what's cool about him is
he's mainly silent through most of the movie up until the climax.
Yeah, up until he meets Bond, you know. And he's very good with stealth.
Yeah.
I mean, dude's just a boss. I mean, when we first see him and when Rosa decides to, you know, put him on for this mission, mm-hmm. she puts on brass knucks and hits him in the stomach. He doesn't flinch. Mm-hmm. That's how much of a badass he is. Mm-hmm. And of course, with his special, you know, weapon, mm-hmm. which is that wire coming out of his watch so he can strangle people. I mean...
Yep, he even killed one of Bond's allies on the train.
Yeah. Plus, anyone else that gets in his way,
someone who was trying to kill Bond because he wanted to kill Bond. It was his job. Yeah.
He was like, no. If anyone's going to be killing James Bond, it's going to be me. Mm-hmm. I was hired for the mission. I'm going to take care of it. Mm-hmm. But one additional thing about Grant is, if the dude wasn't an assassin, dude could be a great actor.
Yeah.
Because he takes up this facade as another agent, while he, Bond, and Tatiana are on the Orient Express. Mm-hmm. And I think it's funny. He actually adds a bit of humor to it before things get on and popping.
Yeah. And then he begins one of the first villain monologues.
Yeah.
Explains everything.
Yes. Now that I have you cornered, Bond, let me monologue the whole explanation of the course of events.
Yeah.
But that leads to quite possibly one of the greatest villain fights in this whole franchise. Yeah. Bond versus Red Grant in that nice cubby area in the Orient Express.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just all the chef kisses, just fantastic. And just how, despite the fact it's not the biggest space, they make this so, you know, just, oh, it's just so cool. You understand how serious and how dire this fight is, because Bond is facing pretty much an equal in this fight. Someone who's just as good as him. So, I mean, seriously, when watching this film, pay very close attention to that fight, because it's fantastic.
Of course, we bring back all the same MI6.
MI6. People, of course, you know, M, played by Bernard Lee, and Miss Moneypenny, played by Lois Maxwell, still in top form, still great.
Yeah, we have the funny moment with when he's recording at ear.
Oh, yeah, when they're trying to get the information from Tatiana.
Yeah.
And them trying to keep a straight face while she's trying to seduce Bond, and at the same time, he's also dropping dime on M. Yeah, I remember when this one time M and I went to Japan. Just dropping dime, and M's like, okay, yeah, that's enough information. What the heck, Bond?
Yep.
And Moneypenny trying to keep a straight face, like, really? Really? This is what's going on? They're both trying to seduce each other right now.
But should we talk about the scores, or?
Oh. There's also one additional thing about Daniela Bianchi that, of course, that whole reoccurring thing.
Yep.
Voice dubbed.
Yeah.
This time by Barbara Jefford. Once again, like I explained in Dr. No, they tended to pick actors that had a very good look. But sometimes the actors didn't have the best grasp on the English language, or they had too thick of an accent, so they would often have dub-overs for their voices. But I think it worked out.
Yeah.
But, yeah. One other additional thing is the air of this film is much different than the others. This one is much more of a spy thriller.
Yeah.
Where you kind of know everything that's going along, you're just seeing how it unfolds.
Yep. I think we get introduced to Q in this movie.
Oh, yeah. We actually get introduced by Q. He's not directly recognized as Q, but it's Q. And we get the first instance of Bond gadgets. Particularly that awesome briefcase that has a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
That if you don't open it in the proper way that it's supposed to, and then on top of that, Bond with that nice compact sniper rifle, which is awesome. I mean, the man takes out a freaking helicopter with that. Freaking helicopter.
But how should we go with the score?
Sure.
Starting with you.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Sure. Like I said, this is one of my favorites of the Connery era, and quite possibly one of my favorite Bond films of all time. I give this a 9 out of 10. It's just nearly perfect. There's just some elements that I think it needs, but it's nearly as perfect as it can be. It is fantastic. I love this film.
I give this 8 out of 10 because it was better than the Dr. No part, but mainly with the Bond girls actually being introduced first part in the movie, then the Grant and the Rosa being the bad guys on there with having their fights, and we get the epic villain monologue, which is pretty funny in the movie. Yeah. So I kind of enjoyed that. But if you, so tell us what your opinion is. Look us up on Facebook, The Real Screen Team, and YouTube, The Real Screen Team. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe our YouTube videos.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we're at 70-ish subscribers. We need to try to get to 100 if you want us to do a live stream.
Yeah, and then start actually doing some viewer suggestions for reviews.
Mm-hmm. But you want to roll us out again, James Bond?
Well, first, why don't we acknowledge what
our
our next film is going to be?
Movie's going to be Goldfinger.
Yes. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and roll us out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for coming. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It definitely helps a long way. Thank you all. Let's fade to black.
From Russia